PUBG's biggest cheating problem might not be what you think. This may be the biggest expose I've ever published on this channel. What I'm about to show you could point to a form of cheating affecting hundreds of thousands of PUBG accounts. It's something I'm calling crowdsourced cheating due to its scale. If the evidence holds true, it raises serious questions about PUBG's anti-cheat systems, account farming, and the overall integrity of the game. Most players don't even realize it's happening. Before we go any further, let's define what we mean by cheating. The word cheater often sparks arguments online because people try to narrow its definition to only mean players using aimbots or wall hacks. That's simply not accurate. Merriam-Webster defines a cheater as one who violates rules dishonestly. That definition applies just as much to PUBG as it does to sport, gambling, board games, or exams. Keep that definition in mind throughout this video. I'm also well aware that videos like this attract what the community often calls cheat deniers, people who attempt to minimize or redefine cheating whenever new evidence is presented. This video isn't about opinions, it's about observable behavior and PUBG's own rules of conduct. The accounts we're looking at aren't rage hacking. They're not using obvious aimbots. Instead, they're using automated software to farm PUBG. Their purpose appears to be reducing the grind, collecting free rewards, farming battle points, earning event items, leveling accounts, and in some cases, creating accounts that can later be sold. Some individuals may be running a handful of accounts. Others appear to be operating hundreds or potentially thousands at the same time. Those higher volume operations could be farming valuable cosmetics for resale or preparing accounts that are later sold to players wanting high-level PUBG accounts, including accounts eventually used for traditional cheat software. So how do these farming bots actually work? From what I've personally observed, there appear to be several different versions. Some simply remain AFK for the entire match. Most, however, are much more sophisticated. The gameplay appears to be automated rather than controlled by a human player. The software lands them somewhere on the map, searches for loot, equips items, navigates terrain, moves towards the safe zone, and then usually lies prone to avoid detection. When the circle moves, it gets up, walks into the new zone, and lies down again. If the account takes damage, it often heals using items it's picked up. One thing they generally don't appear capable of doing is fighting. They rarely, if ever, fire their weapons. They have been observed throwing stun and smoke grenades, not at players, but simply to complete missions. The easiest place to observe these accounts is in Ranked FPP on the Asia and C servers during off-peak hours. Those queues often have very few legitimate players because Ranked FPP is significantly less popular in those regions. As a result, the farming accounts become incredibly obvious. In this particular match, there were only 5 real players. 4 of them were on my squad. Virtually every other account in the lobby appeared to be an automated farming account. Looking at the match results, you'll notice nearly every team is a 1-player squad. Only the team I joined has 4 human players. Now look at the scoreboard. Almost every account has 0 kills and 0 damage. The lobby feels emptier than many casual matches, except this is ranked. I repeated this over multiple days and observed the same patterns consistently. Looking back through match histories, some of these accounts appear to have been operating for months. It's important to stress that this isn't limited to one game mode or one region. These accounts can be found across PUBG. They're simply much easier to identify in low-population ranked FPP queues. TPP generally has more legitimate players queue up, even in off-peak time, so the farming accounts become diluted more so among real players, but they're still there. Here's another example I encountered when reviewing a PUBG Partners match. This account had been farming in normal TPP. Remember, players must reach Survivor level 80 before they can queue for Ranked. That means many of these low-level bronze accounts are almost certainly farmed in normal matches before eventually moving into Ranked. Make no mistake, this behavior appears to violate multiple sections of PUBG's rules of conduct. First, do not use unauthorized programs or hardware devices. These accounts are being controlled by third-party automation software while unattended. That software isn't part of PUBG. It's external automation. Second, do not manipulate match results. PUBG specifically references obtaining battle points and items through prohibited behavior. Automated farming appears directly relevant to that rule. Third, do not AFK, away from keyboard or idling. While many of these accounts queue as solo squads, perhaps avoiding negatively affecting teammates, the rule also prohibits behavior that otherwise undermines the gameplay experience. That clause is particularly important. These accounts undermine the integrity of matches. Legitimate players immediately recognize what's happening. Each of these rule violations carries the possibility of a permanent ban. So why should anyone care? Many players might say, I've never noticed this. These bots don't kill me. How does this affect my games? It's true that the impact often seems small. Winning a lobby full of non-combatant farming accounts isn't exactly exciting, it's usually just boring. The bigger problem is what this says about the integrity of PUBG. If enormous numbers of accounts can openly automate gameplay for months without consequences, what message does that send about PUBG's anti-cheat systems? If Krafton struggles to stop this form of cheating, which should leave a massive digital footprint, how confident should players be that more damaging forms of cheating are being detected consistently? Ironically, Krafton may be the biggest victim here. These farming operations exploit PUBG's live service. Every automated account consumes server resources. Every match costs money to host. Meanwhile, the people running these operations are generating rewards that were never intended to be earned this way. Player statistics also become polluted by thousands of artificial accounts. If large numbers of active accounts are simply automated farming bots, how accurately do player numbers reflect genuine engagement? There's another consequence. Many of these accounts appear to exist for resale. A farming account can accumulate approximately 30,000 battle points per day, alongside login rewards, daily missions, event rewards, ranked rewards, and coupons. Here's some of the stuff these accounts are farming for. They'll be credited with daily play points each match and are opting out of the grind to get all these rewards without actually playing. And here are some of the other things that they'll be picking up by farming like this. They won't be able to complete all the weekly supply missions, as some involve actually playing, but they'll get most. The remainder can be completed in one single casual match. These other missions they'll be able to easily claim due to their farming. When a new progressive skin or premium cosmetic releases, operators can simply open crates across dozens or hundreds of accounts. The odds may be low on one account. Across 100 accounts, those odds become dramatically better. Accounts containing valuable skins can then be sold at a premium. Here are examples of Neon Dream accounts currently being advertised for sale in US dollars. None of that revenue goes to Krafton. Instead, Krafton pays the server costs while someone else profits. Legitimate players also lose financially. If you've ever sold crate items on the Steam marketplace, you've probably noticed how little many cosmetics are worth. Supply has a huge effect on price. If automated farming operations continually inject additional items into the economy, the increased supply pushes prices down. That means legitimate players receive less when selling their own items. Recently, Counter-Strike reportedly removed around 1 million farming accounts from its game. PUBG has never announced a comparable large-scale ban wave targeting automated farming accounts. As far as I'm aware, it has barely acknowledged the issue publicly. PUBG's average player count is roughly 50% of Counter-Strike's. If automated farming in PUBG exists at anything approaching a similar scale of Counter-Strike, and that's an estimate, not a confirmed figure, it could imply that hundreds of thousands of PUBG accounts are engaged in this behavior. Simply by using the extrapolated player populations as a guide, you can see how it's feasible that there could be 500,000 farming accounts in PUBG. That's precisely why this issue deserves serious attention. The most frustrating part? Once you know what these accounts look like, they're remarkably easy to spot. Krafton frequently describes itself as an AI-first company. This is exactly the kind of problem where machine learning and behavioral analysis should excel. These farming accounts create consistent behavioral fingerprints, repeated movement patterns, repeated timings, repeated match statistics, repeated survival behavior. Those patterns should be identifiable at scale. An effective detection system wouldn't just remove today's farming accounts, it could continually identify new ones before they become a permanent part of PUBG's ecosystem. If PUBG wants players to trust its anti-cheat systems, tackling large-scale account farming would be a very good place to start. If you've made it all the way to the end of this video, thank you. I genuinely appreciate you taking the time to watch it. Videos like this take a huge amount of time to put together. There's the research, reviewing hours of match replays, collecting evidence, verifying patterns, and trying to present everything as accurately and fairly as possible. My goal has always been to shine a light on issues affecting PUBG and give the community information they simply won't find anywhere else. If you appreciate this kind of investigative content, I'd really appreciate your support by subscribing to the channel. Every subscriber, every view, every comment, and every share helps these videos reach more people in the PUBG community. It tells YouTube that this is content worth recommending, which helps more players see the evidence and join the conversation. Thanks again for watching, thanks for supporting the channel, and I'll see you in the next investigation.